Long jump competition as we turn our attention back to the track, Dan, as we wrap up the track action today with the miles. Of course, we were watching the best in the world race the Wanamaker last week at the Armory in New York. Great distance to cover over the course of the collegiate season. And you see the field separated into two groups, and we show you those slated to start. We had 12 scheduled. Looks like they may only have 11 on the track as I do that quick math. So it'll take a lap for us to figure out who's potentially missing here from the field. Well, actually may be easy because hip number 10 is not out there, it would appear, so that would have been Jasper Newton of Tulane, who would have been in between Economou of Purdue and Zybert of Illinois State. Madison Mooney of Wisconsin owns the meet record in this mile at Windy City, 4:34.54. That was set back in 2024 as we begin the racing for this women's mile in 2026. Maya Bunke, who paced an earlier race at 5,000 meters, the tallest of the runners there on the inside. But Economou is the leader coming off that first full lap as she carries them through in 35.62, followed by Bunke, who clearly was the pace setter, Dan, and now is trying to get herself back in that position.
Well, I thought she went out a little bit casually there. I saw her on the inside with that in that inside chute, and I think when Economou ended up in front, she looked around like, uh-oh, I'm not supposed to be up here.
That's Kylie Finger of Wisconsin now in second, and coming up hip number 7, Becca Heitzig of Illinois State, as they work their way through that first quarter mile split at the line, which is about 409 meters, 33.75 for the last lap, 70.04. Bunke and Finger and Heitzig. Economou leading that group behind. Williams, who was scheduled to run the 5,000 for Wisconsin, now in this mile race, steps now into fourth position as they start to try to reel in and gain contact again with those trio of runners in front. See Madison Plummer of Illinois State moving up, along with Elena Llano of Tulane. This will be the halfway mark. See how far Bunke's going to take this group. She comes through in a lap of 35.70, so she slowed off a little bit, and not sure if Finger's wanting to try to get by, but she's obviously not going to allow Bunke to go out wide because they're within a stride pattern of each other here, and Bunke's now looking to get out of harm's way and say, let me get out of the way, as they wind it up here for the last few laps of the race.
Yeah, that was just bad positioning on Kylie Finger's part there. She just was on the outside of that lane. She needed to move to the inside, let Bunke get out of the way, but Kylie Finger is looking really good. She looks fresh. Doesn't look like she's really slowing down at all, but she's only run one race this indoor season, and that was a 3,000 meters. She was scheduled to run a 5K, and she did not start it, but here in her first mile of the season, she looks fantastic.
Kind of a solo effort right now is Heitzig of Illinois State now just coming into view. Hasn't been able to start to reel her back in with a couple of laps to go. Pretty good battle for third, fourth, and fifth position with Willems, Yano, and Shedler. But Finger now still ahead of Heitzig as they'll take to the far turn, and then they'll hear the bell coming off this final turn. 34.95, a little bit quicker on that last lap for Kylie. What does she do here on the penultimate lap? 34.77. So good trend line on a negative split here for the leader from Wisconsin as she moves into the final time on the backstretch.
Well, she's run 4:46. She did that last indoor season, but I like the way she looks when she gets into a little bit faster. Her arms maybe a little too big of a motion. She could shorten those up a little bit, but she looks solid right now.
Heitzig has closed the gap just a little bit, but Finger is going to take the win at the mile distance in a new lifetime best of 4:40.57. Heitzig with a lifetime best for the sophomore in 4:42.55. And a PR for Pauline Shedler of Illinois State. In fact, we got 7 women in the top 9, all with new lifetime bests in the mile here at Windy City.
Well, I love the determination there by Kylie Finger. You could see she was pressing the rabbit there. And there was no doubt in my mind that as soon as Bunke dropped off that Kylie Finger was going to just continue on this pace and go for it. A little bit wild with the arms, but man, she just looked solid. Never looked like she was really that fatigued. But yeah, she ran a personal best last year, February 22nd, so almost a year ago was her